your reaction again to what was passed here today?
What was passed here today is bad for the people of Ohio. It dilutes the right to vote. It packs Democrats into a few districts and creates an overwhelmingly favorable Republican map, and by doing so creates many more non-competitive districts than we've had even in the past. So when you have no competition in a district from the other party, Democrat or Republican, when your only competition is from the extreme of your own party, that pushes legislators to the extremes. We've seen that this year. We've already been seeing it. We see it in Washington, in congressional districts. So for all the talk about how we have hyper-partisanship, things are excessively partisan, and government becomes dysfunctional, we took another step towards that goal today. This is wrong and unfortunate.
Are your members supportive of Senator Husted's, the referendum that was offered last session, picking that up again and going forward with it?
Well, we passed in the House a significant reform program for reapportionment that we were able to get bipartisan support for in the House, and it died in the Senate. So, again, any comment about how the Senate version died in the House needs to be put in context. The House version died in the Senate.
Sorry if you've been asked this already, but this time around, would you be more willing to vote for Senator Husted's proposal from the last time?
After the House passed its version and the Senate passed its version, Senator Husted and I did meet, and I believe we came very close. I think we reached agreement between ourselves on a proposal that would have incorporated the best parts of both, but unfortunately I couldn't get it through the House and he couldn't get it through the Senate.
Well, what about Senator Husted's plan as a second best option? Especially after this process.
Well, it's certainly better than what we have today, and for that reason, again, I question why that process wasn't followed here by rule, which it could have been. The key part of Senator Husted's plan at that time was a change in the way the Apportionment Board operates.
Right.
He created a supermajority requirement so that the minority had to agree with the majority. I proposed that by rule, and it was voted down 4-1.
Nonetheless, if the bill or resolution
had that been adopted by rule, we could have done the same thing here.
But looking forward, if the resolution comes to a vote on the House, are you going to vote for it?
We'll have to see what it is. But I worked harder for apportionment changes and redistricting changes than just about anybody else.
Are you looking at your legal options now as far as challenging this plan in court?
I believe this plan has many violations of both the Constitution and the Voting Rights Act, but I'm not. My legal expertise is not in this area, so we're waiting to hear from my lawyers.
And do you think Cuyahoga County, the way that the majority districts are drawn, do you believe that or not drawn in one case? Do you believe that's a violation of the Voting Rights Act?
I do. I believe it's a violation of the Voting Rights Act. I believe the Voting Rights Act says that when you can draw a minority district, you are supposed to do that, and this was not done in Northeast Ohio.
What other violations do you see that maybe political subdivisions as far as splits?
Their map splits political subdivisions right and left, many more splits than any of the other three maps, and I believe that also is a constitutional violation.
So basically, those are the two areas that you are looking at legally as far as.
Well, we've turned it over to ask our lawyer to take a look at, and we'll see what they say. I'm not the expert.